Good morning. My name is Victoria Schoell-Schafer. I'm the Chief Operating Officer at Lauritzengardens, and today we're going to be talking about native plants. So what do we mean when we call them native plants is that they're found in this area naturally occurring, which means people haven't planted them there. They self-sow, they self-seed, they survive and thrive on their own without human intervention. So some common Nebraska native plants are, when it comes to big trees, cottonwoods are a great tree because they have a lot of benefits for pollinators. I know a lot of people think they're messy, but they're really important environmentally to this environment and supporting birds and caterpillars. There's so many grasses. When we think of prairie ecosystems, we have prairie dropseed, which is the shorter grasses, and then we have the taller grasses like big bluestem. And then the parts that a lot of people are attracted to are the flowers. We have the echinaceas, which are like purple cone flowers, liatris, some people refer to them as blazing stars. There's just a lot of good native plants in this area to pick from and grow in your yard. Why are native plants important? And there's lots of reasons. They support the local pollinators, they support the local birds, they support the animals. And a lot of them have relationships to each other too. And so you need both. You need the plant to help support the pollinator, and it's a back and forth relationship. We have a really diverse group of butterflies that visit our garden, and we believe the butterfly volunteers, they notice which plants they're gravitating to and which ones they're landing on. And we have direct relationships showing that our native plants that we plant here provide that habitat for those butterflies. So you see more here, which everybody loves to see butterflies. When it comes to like planting grasses, like the prairie grasses, we use way less water to maintain them. They seasonally last longer. We do not have to fertilize them. They get the nutrients that they need in the soil and do their own things. One of the fun benefits that we've seen in the garden from planting native plants is educating people, and people saying, oh, that's really pretty, and saying, yeah, this grows naturally in this area. This supports these bumblebees, and getting people excited about native plants and helping them see them. You know, sometimes we refer to it as plant blindness, of like you don't really look at the plants, you kind of look at the overall landscape, but when you walk by and see a bumblebee and say that's really cool, and then the horticulturist is there to say, hey, this is a native plant, like you could grow this in your yard, and it's important for these reasons, and trying to change that conversation. All right, common misconception of native plants. This is my favorite one. You don't plant them and walk away. They are like any perennial. Any plant that you put in the ground, you have to give it love. You have to take care of it for those first 2 to 3 years, making sure it is getting enough water so that the roots get established. Once the plant is established, there is way less maintenance of you don't have to fertilize it and stuff like that, but they do require human support to get them established. One other misconception that we're trying to change the dialogue is that they're not garden-esque. You know, we all have this very English proper garden, and we're trying to change that. You know, a lot of people, the proper garden is roses, daylilies, lilacs. Those are all important and beautiful plants. None of those are native. And so we're trying to integrate and put them side by side to show that our natives are just as beautiful. A lot of times I don't think that people notice them because they're focused on this. And so again, it's just trying to aesthetically broaden people's viewpoint of what's a beautiful plant. And just like all plants, be curious and watch them. And we kind of refer to them as party plants. A lot of natives are party plants, which means the insects, the pollinators, go towards them, and you will have a livelier garden with life around it, and hummingbirds. And when you do plant the natives in your yard, I do promise the pollinators will find them. It's pretty amazing. Thank you for watching, and happy Native Plant Month, Nebraska.